This is Grapplers Talk.
What is up, fans of Grapplers Talk? This is Dave coming at you with another episode each and every week. Welcome to the podcast. Man, I'm excited. First of all, thank you to all the fans for all the love, support we get. Without y'all, we couldn't do this podcast and couldn't keep this thing going. And I'm blessed, and I love all the fan feedback I get, and it really means the world. You guys tell me if you love it or even if you hate it, and I just I need it to make this show better, and I just appreciate everyone out there that listens and downloads. And it's funny, I reached out to someone the other day, and my message was like, hey, if you would like even consider being a guest, and they wrote me back like, I love listening to the podcast. So keep it up, guys. Thank you for all the support. Check us out there in the scene. We're going to be out there at a few events coming up this summer. I got some new merch on the way. I've been promising a lot of people have been asking about shirts, hats, stickers, and all that fun stuff. I do got some stuff in the process, and I'm just thrilled to bring you all the best grappling content. And man, I'm excited for this one. This one's truly going to be an amazing episode. The fans have been asking me, where's Chris at? I've had a few guests live on the air go, where's Chris at? Chris is back live in studio. Everyone, welcome back. The co-founder of Grapplers Talk, one of my good buddies, none other than Chris Osborne, man. What is up, brother?
Yo, everyone. How's it going? Thanks for having me back on, brother.
Yeah, man.
Been a while.
Yeah, it has been a little while, dude. And it's crazy to think like we're almost at the 1 year mark, or we're at it, definitely, for sure.
Hell yeah. You've been holding it down.
Thing, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's, it's really, really tough, dude. I do got to say, like, there's so many times where you don't want to do an episode, or you got things going on, or travel plans, or this or that comes up.
Yeah.
And it's so tough to really stay committed. But, man, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be a part of this.
Of course.
It truly means the world to have you back on here. And, I've been doing a lot of interviews, and I love the interviews, and I love hearing more about these young grapplers coming up in the scene and all over the country, all the different things that people have going on. We've had some interesting conversations with guys like Austin Hart, the inventor of the buggy choke, and a lot of different things going on. But I just like to have a fun conversation sometimes and chill and just relax a little bit. And I know I could cut up a little bit with my buddy Chris. So
yeah.
Man, dude, first of all, like I do gotta say, you're now a jiu-jitsu brown belt. We never gotta congratulate you live on the air, but first of all, congratulations on getting your brown belt. That's huge accomplishment, man.
Thank you.
I know, looking back, just not that long ago, it seems like us working together and you kind of being at like almost a plateau, or maybe that's not the proper term, but almost like a bump in the road, right?
Actually, yeah.
But seeing you overcome all of that and seeing you fall back in love with jiu-jitsu and getting your family into it, and your kids and your wife, and now it's a complete family thing for you. I just want to talk about the growing experience you've had from blue belt to brown belt now, and some of the things you've experienced along the way with competition.
Yeah, man. It feels like two different worlds, two different times, obviously it was, but man, I really have to give a lot of credit for me being more consistent and more in love with jiu-jitsu, really. I've always loved it, but I got to give credit to my wife, because when she started training, it was like she was asking me, hey, you training tonight? And she still does it to this day. And giving all the credit to her for that, because like, honestly, when I come home from work sometimes, or even back in the day, I'd tell you all the time, man, I don't want to go to jiu-jitsu, or I get home too late, or whatever excuse I had. And you were one of the people that told me, hey man, if it's that important to you, you'll make time for it. And we found a way to do that in our family. And I'm just blessed to be able to do that. Like, both my sons are now doing it. Colson started Tiny Grapplers on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And it's like, it's a dream come true for me right now. It's like jiu-jitsu is amazing. It's just, I love it. You know what I mean? We love our team. It's a great family environment.
You definitely got to have the great support system that you have. And,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes it can drive a wedge in between you and your family. You know, obviously a lot of people get addicted to jiu-jitsu and it's very easy, especially, you know, you don't got much going on, many hobbies. There's a lot of nice people there. So you make friends and it becomes like almost like a support group, you know?
Yeah.
And it can kind of cause a wedge sometimes because they see, you know, you being happy and different things like that. And maybe they want to get out of the house a little bit more or whatever it may be. But, you know, you have a great supportive wife and great supportive family. And to be able to have that is incredible and something to definitely be thankful for.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Like I said, it starts with her and that whole situation, just making it easy, right? For me to go every day and love it again. But also like my team and everything, man, just going through the last couple years has been just ups, downs.
A lot of growth.
Yeah, man, like just a lot of experience, and I'm just super grateful. I've done a lot of teaching lately. I'm just super grateful for the opportunity to share the mats with everybody that goes in there and just anybody in general. That's where I'm at with my journey is like, I just want to train with everybody. I roll, drill, whatever you want to do. Like, let's get on the mats, you know?
Right.
And, and I love helping out, teaching and stuff like that when I can, man. It's just been really awesome. Really awesome.
Now over the past few years, you competed quite a bit. A few years back, you took in some time off. You had a couple different things happen, and just things in life, you know, take you away from your training. You wanted to put the most into it. So, but having that competition, I mean, you're getting up there in age. Like like both of us are. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not 25 anymore. We're not 19 anymore, and these 19-year-olds are coming in the room. So, but it's incredible to really see the progress and the different things along the way that happen with competition, right? Especially at an older age.
Yeah, no, just in the competition scene over the last couple of years, you know, like I obviously as a blue belt, I was really trying to get out there as much as I could, tried to sign up for everything. And then that's when I was getting hurt a little bit. As a purple belt, I competed a couple times. And then I just recently had my first brown belt competition at Jiu-Jitsu World League. So, huge step up in competition, you know, and a lot of lessons learned. It was a good experience, you know. I got to learn a lot about myself, my game, where I need to step up because it's the big boy leagues now, pretty much. You know what I mean? So, I'm grateful for that too, you know, for having that competition where it really showed me like, all right, dude, this is where you need to step your shit up. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It shows you a lot about yourself and where your game is and it allows you to test the waters a little bit.
Yeah.
And, you know, the evolution of everyone's game, though, is different. You know, everyone evolves differently. Everyone has different milestones and different progression. And it's really something like I just want people to understand if you're new to jiu-jitsu, if you're new to grappling or wrestling or anything like that, like it's meant to be tough, but like no one has the same journey, you know, no one has this similar journey. Like you came up a completely different way than I did. Isaac, another good friend of ours, Isaac De Jesus, you know, came up a different way. You know, we all had our own different styles and different reasons and different paths, but you know, we were all in this thing together essentially, you know, and it's important, that we understand that like this is ever changing, you know, we're going to keep getting older and evolving. Right.
Yeah. A long time ago, I remember I trained in Modesto. You guys obviously trained up here, but you guys were always willing to help and vice versa. Like we would always talk about it and be at each other's events still, you know what I mean? Like we were always boys, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. But jiu-jitsu has always been there for all of us, and it's always been a thing we've all done together. And now it's like we're all getting up there in age and belt. It's just pretty crazy where we're at.
And we've all taken time away too. You
Yeah.
know, like none of us were 100% consistent the entire time. We had
True.
time where we were growing and going through this or that, or, you know, college age years and things happen, you know, in those years, a lot of things. So, but we all found our way back to it is what's so cool about the entire thing. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And we still, like, to this day, all of us are still training. You have your own academy now. I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just thinking about 10, 15 years ago, it's like now we're finally
we're living those years
yeah,
now.
You know what I mean? We're living those golden years, I guess, so to speak, but the
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu golden years. But it's just nice to be able to continue to train like this. Like, you know, I speaking of people at our academy and stuff, young man Dan, man, I want to be like that guy, man. So much respect for that guy. He's still in there savving
Dan,
it.
man.
He's in there training his butt off
He's
all the time
savage.
still, dude. And he's
getting close to
amazing.
that black belt too, man. He's been at it a while, and he's definitely creeping closer to it.
Yeah, I think he's right there. I think he's got all 4 stripes on his belt right now. So
yeah, so
but yeah, he's awesome, man. It's nice to see him, and like seeing him just go hard every day makes me just want to keep like going at my age. You know, like what's my excuse, bro?
yeah, man. Guys like him and even my buddy Tyler Bray, like, you know, you're like, fuck, man, like, well, I don't have a reason to not train, like, you know. And people that don't make excuses for working hard or being tired, you know, like they get up at 5 a.m. every day. They go through the grind at work and work hard construction, and they still get in the gym.
Yeah.
So, like, shout out to those people out there that are doing that, man. Like,
and there's some savages that put in 2 times a day, dude, like, and still go work a construction job or something, you know, like it's just, kudos to all you guys. And all I got to say, if I have anything to say about my experiences, don't quit jiu-jitsu, quit your job. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. It's worth it to keep training. You know, it's important. I think it's so important. I think this month, is it Mental Health Awareness Month?
I'm not sure.
I think it might be. And if it is, I mean, it's huge to talk about those things and to really acknowledge. I had a recent guest, Chris Vickers, on, and he talked about it a lot. He's hunting monsters, and it's really important to think about like the mental health aspect of training and how crucial it is for us.
Yeah.
Like, we have to have that, you know, to be able to get that avenue and release. And
yeah, it's 100% like therapeutic for people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in different ways. It doesn't have to, I mean, it could be any different way therapeutic to you, but it does for sure help people. You know what I mean? And it's a great story to hear about Chris Vickers and all that, you know, like just being like, he's badass right now, man. He's doing good on the competition scene and stuff, you know? So, and overcoming things.
Yeah, it's really, there's a lot of good people out there, man. It's really cool to think about. But man, dude, it's wild, like, to think about your journey now and at brown belt, like you're now starting to teach, and I kind of want to tap into that a little bit and kind of talk about your teaching style and how you're developing that. What's some of the things that you've learned from being an instructor and being a coach and a teacher in the gym, or a leader? Right?
Yeah, no, I've definitely learned that you start skipping a few steps, and when you go back and break it down to teach, you're like, holy shit, I've been messing this up for so long. You know, aside from that, I've learned that breaking things down, just I guess the way I like to teach is I really emulate Coach Manny, because I really, really appreciate the way he teaches. Like, I've said it before, like, what he teaches just makes sense to me. So I figure I try to emulate the way he teaches, like trying to emphasize where the hand placement is and things like that, and why. You know what I mean? I think it's important for them to know both. So it's just been an awesome experience where I've always been one that loves fundamentals, but now I'm just even more like, fundamentals is key, man. Like, you got solid fundamentals that can take you a long way at any level. You know?
Yeah, I talk to people, and I mean, we've talked about it even in the past on the podcast, but You look at the top 3 submissions at ADCC, and they're all fundamental submissions. They're all in the basic movements, and it's usually rear naked choke, leg lock, and armbar of some sort.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but you see those things, and I've always been, I don't know who put it in my brain, but it was beaten to me at a really young age. Like, you can't skip these fundamentals.
No.
Like, there's no way to avoid them. They're going to be throughout jiu-jitsu from white to black and beyond. And so I've always really focused, like, my game. There's some things, I'll work on and I'll attempt and I'll try. But really what works the best for me is those old school basic fundamentals.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's key. I mean, if you don't know what to do once you're in mount, what the fuck does it matter? If all you know is some fancy S-mount triangle or something like that, then you're going to get thrown off every time by a strong guy like Anthony.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, you're very right.
So the fundamentals are key. You need to secure your position. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. But it's just something I think is important. And I think that in jiu-jitsu right now, we're seeing less of it, unfortunately. I think we're seeing a lot of flashy, fancy stuff that people want to try. I can't count how many cartwheel passes I've seen, flying, jumping guard triangles. And it's like, guys,
people are doing the knee.
Off,
they're doing the flying knee cut nowadays. That seriously, I seen a whole breakdown on it, dude.
Yeah.
They're not even letting the knee hit the mat at all. They're doing the flying knee cut to where, they're flying through the air. Guys like Cade Rotolo were pulling it off in high level matches. So all these people are thinking like, hey, this is the route to it, but like, really, like, all that stuff is so risky and like injury prone. You're gonna get fucked up if
it's
you're
a
average.
Young man's game, bro.
If you're average, right? And not athletic at all, you're gonna get fucked up doing that stuff.
For sure. I can't do that shit. Like in reality though, like, sometimes that shit will work, right? And that's all good and stuff. But I guess that my game, the way I've developed over the last couple of years, is I'm more of a pressure guy. Yeah. I'm more of about making sure I'm there. You know what I mean? And making you want to tap before I get around,
Right.
So,
the higher the belt, the more the pressure.
Exactly.
That's how I feel.
And that's where my game is now. So that flashy, fancy stuff just doesn't do it for me. Like, no offense to anybody who likes it. I guess it works for people. Yeah. It does. I've seen it work, but
there's going to be a time in your career you're not going to be able to pull it off. Right?
I don't even know if I could cartwheel without breaking a wrist, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
But like, what then if that's all you know?
Yeah.
If that's all you've developed and you skip the fundamentals, you skip the basics, you don't know how to apply your hip down and drop the right pressure, you don't know how to control the hip.
Yeah, you know how to cartwheel pass, but they pulled you in the guard. Yeah. Oh crap, now how do you break guard?
Yeah, how do you
have
pass?
No idea, you know what I mean? How do you pass guard from there? You're an outside guard passer and stick with it.
back in the day, the big thing was like if you went for leg locks, which were rarely shown. First of all, since that Eric showed a lot of them, there were certain guys you had to go seek out the right people to get the leg locks. Guys like Val and other people like that, Dave Terrells. And
I remember Val one time. I went to CSA Dublin and he showed this leg lock, and I was freaking blue belt then, like not training that often, and I'm like blown away by this freaking movie showed us, and it was just like the way his entries and stuff, that Sambo background is just, man, it's awesome. He's a badass.
I want to get him on and talk to him. He's a Sambo legend in my mind from this area, dude. Like,
dude, he's a badass.
Yeah, he's been around forever, and I'm trying to understand Sambo a little bit more. I had a young man on recently who beat Merab Davalishvili in a match. That. I went back on YouTube. I watched the match, and he beat him for sure. Like, they raised his hand at the end, but I don't know the rules of Sambo. I don't know the rules of Sambo, so I didn't really understand how he won.
You saw the results. You're just not sure what the hell was happening.
Like I didn't know how he won. I don't understand the rules. So
don't they have like a kimono and a belt, but they wear shorts and wrestling shoes?
They wear shorts. It's actually a Sambo shoe. Leather bottoms.
Didn't know that.
Leather bottoms typically, but they're very similar to a wrestling shoe.
Sambo's badass though, bro. I can't even hate. It's badass.
Dude. I just don't understand it enough, but it's a pretty cool grappling art.
Yeah. And, I mean, look at the top lightweights in the world the last couple of years. Right?
Oh yeah, dude.
Khabib and Islam, like
you can't deny those guys.
No.
Yeah, their background is very high level. And but yeah, he did beat Merab in that match. I watched it on YouTube.
That's a nice notch on the belt for that guy.
Yeah. But and you know, so anyways, but yeah, I want to understand the grappling arts. Guys like Val, who have been around forever, man. That's what it's about.
With the old school mentality, like the real old school mentality. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oleg Toktarov, you know,
Yeah.
guys like that. If they're willing to talk, man, they got some stories. I'm sure, dude.
Yeah.
Oleg was in those early UFCs, you know, back in the day, UFC like 4 or 5, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 10. But yeah, man, it's an interesting world we live in grappling, man. I want to talk to you about something interesting.
Bring it up.
Take a step away from your story for a little bit, but talk about something interesting that just popped. First of all, CJI2 is right around the corner. It's coming up this summer-ish, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So we got to brace ourselves. We got to get ready. We're going to be doing a live kind of podcast during talking about CJI. We're going to have some local black belts and some fun people on the show to talk about some stuff. But CJI 2 is right around the corner. But some big news just dropped just a couple days ago, talking about Nick Rodriguez's little brother, J-Rod, just got kicked off a B team. Kind of a wild situation, and we do have some kid-friendly listeners, so I don't want to get too in-depth of the details. If you want to look into it yourself, you definitely can. But the reality of the situation is that is crazy in the grappling scene. Huge blow to B team, right? That's a huge knock on them. They always have him to hold it down on a lot of things. He held it down in ADCC this past run, and you know, I think they were really counting on him to be a member of the team for CJI number 2 because it's a quintet style. So
that's a big blow to the team, man.
Yeah, man. He released a statement admitting guilt. I don't know if there's going to be legal situations. I don't know how crazy
I don't know any
got.
details. I don't know if it I don't know if it was. Yeah, I don't know the details. All I know is that he messed up, big time.
You're gonna hear it first on Grapplers Talk. I'm gonna be the one to say this before everybody else, and then everyone else is gonna start saying it, and this is how it's gonna go. But one thing about this whole situation that I find ironic is the guy that announced he's off a B team for the certain allegations is constantly posting some pretty crazy videos in different countries doing some wild things, to say the least, with multiple girls, with...
What are you talking about?
Mr. Craig Jones, man.
What about him?
He posts a lot of videos of him doing some wild stuff. You know, in Thailand, and going and meeting hookers and you know, so I'm trying to keep this as clean as possible for the kid-friendly fans, but for someone like that who does that on a regular basis to come out and kind of not really reprimand, but kind of be the one to announce it, I just find ironic. Now, I understand his brother probably doesn't want to be the guy to announce this to the world, but
doesn't Nicky Rod own part of it or something?
Yeah, they all do in some aspect, right? I don't know if J Rod does, but definitely Nick Rod and Craig Jones do.
Damn.
I think it's split 4 ways, if I'm not mistaken. I've heard Nicky Rod say it on a podcast.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate situation, definitely. But I mean, it's got to be, you know, dealt with. You gotta deal with your consequences, and I give him credit for manning up and admitting it and all that, but that's I don't know what he did, and anyway you shake it, it's not good. You know what I mean? Yeah. And at the end of the day, he got what he deserved.
Yeah.
You know, so far, I mean, there may be more punishment needed. I don't even, like I said, I don't know what he did, but it's just a big blow, like you said, for B team for sure.
My take is this, right? depending on what the issue is, how do you deal with somebody in the gym that needs to be removed for whatever the situation is, right? Regardless if they like hurt somebody intentionally.
Well, I think
I've heard of people doing like injuring kids, you know. And
I think it's a different situation if you privately own your gym, like you, right? But when the spotlight's on you, like it is on them, you have to think about how you go about it. I guess is probably more on their minds. You know, the spotlight's constantly on them all, and this is like something they're going to have to deal with publicly, whereas you wouldn't have to address it publicly to anybody. It's your private gym. It's your private academy. It's your private conversation with that student. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I think that makes a bit of a difference.
Yeah. Well, there's all kinds of, we could patch him in too.
How do you do that?
You send him a quick little text.
He's going to come by.
And we'll patch him in. But yeah, no, I mean, I just like, it can be real sketchy having to kick someone out of your gym, especially if they're a family member.
Yeah.
Like that's something else that could be, you know, a glaring thing. But, you know, regardless what the situation is, you know, like you gotta remove this person or have a weird talk with them.
Yeah.
Right. And then, you know, the person that the victim, right, whatever the situation is, that puts them in a weird position.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I don't know what happened, but from the allegations, it ain't good, right? And so I don't know that I could speak too much on it, but all I could say is like, yeah, it's a shitty situation. Pardon my language for the young kids, but definitely bad. Yeah,
you hate to see, like, at least for me, where I'm coming out with this whole thing is you hate to see your heroes fall.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm truly a fan of all these people in the grappling scene. I follow them. I look up to them. I watch them in competition. And I want the best for them, you know, like regardless if I know them personally or not.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm a fan of them, I want to see them succeed and do good. You hate seeing, you know, these kind of things pop up. So
yeah, and they have lately. I mean, Jacob Couch was just in some boiling water recently.
There's been a lot of interesting things with the grappling scene, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and I watched a video the other day. Seth Daniels, owner of Fight to Win, said, you know, it's got to fucking stop. And I was like, damn, I agree with him. Like, not often do I, but I was like, you know what, you're right. And he's like, when is it going to stop? And I'm like, it has to be talked about and has to be punished.
Right.
In order for it to stop.
Or else it's going to run rampant.
Right.
Yeah.
100%. And you're supposed to feel safe in the academy.
You know, and I heard recently, I don't know how much truth is in them, so I don't really want to spread them too much, but I've heard some crazy allegations about some big name gyms out there, you know, like some of the founding, you know, gyms in the area, and not in our area, but in California, but you know, and some really damning allegations. And, you know, you wonder like, hey, the more this grows, and there's bound to be like some weirdness creeping in every once in a while. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we got to stop it immediately and prevent us from our sport from being like another McDojo where they, you know, you don't want to send your kids over there. Right.
Yeah, dude. No, it's crazy. I never thought that would happen in jiu-jitsu, right? When I first started it, I would never thought of that. But nowadays it's a thing, and it's like disgusting, bro. It's like, how the fuck do we stop these people? Yeah. I don't want to talk about it. It gets me all fucking riled up, bro.
Yeah. You know, the other thing that gets me riled up, Chris?
What?
People naming moves that don't really have names, like things that we've been doing for years, like where you switch your hips over to the left and the right, and then they're like, "Oh, that's the monkey guard." Like what?
No.
Like and then teaching a series on the monkey guard that never had a name for 25 years.
Yeah,
you know, we just did it,
but now it is.
But now it's the monkey or the octopus. Or
I feel like if you're gonna invent something, it has to be proven to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or if you're going to think about making up some move or renaming a move, you got to talk to somebody in charge.
Have you ever been buggy choked?
No.
No? Ever? Has somebody tried it on you?
Yeah, once
Yeah.
or twice. I don't think they know
Not
how
many
to do
times
it.
though.
I'm not sure that they know the proper technique to it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be buggy choked.
I
I
want
tell you that.
I want to be buggy choked by like Austin Hart. You know, somebody
Why
that
he was
knows
here,
and-
bro? Why didn't you have him do it?
He wasn't here. We did it on Zoom, but
Oh, okay.
he's somebody like, you know, he understands the ins and outs of the moves. So like,
Well, yeah, he
I
invented it.
really want to know more about it, but that's a completely different thing. I'm talking about like moves that have been like not even moves, bro. Like a transitional situation,
Right.
you know. Now all of a sudden has a name. Like,
Yeah.
like
No, yeah.
where did that come from?
I don't know, man. People, maybe it helps them learn better. You know, like back in our day, it was learn it or you stay at a white belt, stupid.
Yeah.
You know, but
Do you get that though? Like, do you experience that where
yeah.
like people's like, oh, do you know that like, you know?
I see it on videos online and stuff, and even on like commentary on some of these things. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
All he did was hip heist.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? He just turned his hips.
Yeah.
That's not a.
Where are these
okay.
names coming from? Who's giving all these names out?
I don't know, man. And you know what, too? I feel super old when I start bringing up moves in like wrestling, and I name a wrestling move, and they're
Yeah.
like, "What?
A what?
Oh, we call that this in wrestling now." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Damn, it can't be of that. It can't have been that long."
Yeah.
But there's different rules now. There's different
Yeah.
weight classes, bro. Takedowns 3 points.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, the 3-point takedown.
Yeah. So
It's wild to think about, man. But like, yeah,
but
a
you
lot
gotta evolve.
changes, right?
You got to evolve, right?
A lot changes, but yeah, I was talking to somebody a while back, and they were telling me like these things have been around forever. Like, why are we all of a sudden calling things names that don't need a name?
Yeah.
Like, let's just keep it simple, you know?
Yeah.
Don't overname.
Yeah, then you start getting confused. The other thing I'm not a fan of is when people use the Japanese name for a move.
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
see. I
bro,
think
I
that's
can't even
cool.
remember it in English. How am I going to remember it in Japanese, bro? I think it's cool that people know that. Don't get me wrong, but like, my
Yeah.
God, there's no way I can do that.
Kasagatami,
Yeah.
Mateleo.
Stop cussing at me. No, man, I don't get it. I can't remember it in English, let alone in that language. So
One of my idols in jiu-jitsu, Kurt Osiander. Shout out to old Kurt. Move of the week, right? He's funny, man. He says Manteleo instead of rear naked choke. He calls it by that name, the Portuguese name. He's like,
All right.
I don't like it, you
Fair
know,
enough.
like rear
Yeah.
naked, like it's just too many weird, like whatever. So
no, that checks out.
yeah, so he calls it by the Portuguese name, but I think the Portuguese
That's pretty cool, though.
The Portuguese name sounds pretty sick.
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
a lot of the guys in the gym here, they make fun of me sometimes because I get down with Portuguese rap. and
For real?
hip-hop.
You put it on in here?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
tight.
dude. Like everyone trips out when they first hear it. Like at first they think it's regular, and then they're like, "Wait, this isn't in English."
Do you remember when George St. Pierre used to come out to French rap?
Did he?
Yeah, dude, he'd come out to French rap sometimes, and I was like, "Damn, this is kind of cool."
Wow,
My dad
GSP is
hated it. You know how he
G for
hates
that.
France, but I was like, "This is kind of cool, man." My dad straight up hated it, dude. He used to always root against George St. Pierre just because he was French Canadian. I'm like, that's not even. He's not
Yeah.
from France.
His
He's
accent
like-
didn't help though.
No.
Yeah, his accent
No.
definitely didn't help.
Yeah. He's hard to understand at times.
Yeah, very. At first, man, like it's crazy to think like they put him in some early like low budget movies,
Yeah.
and like if you look back, they dubbed over his voice.
Did they really?
Yeah, there was a couple movies that were really low budget around the time he was champion.
Yeah, I'll
And,
never forget when he ran in there on Matt Hughes. I was not impressed with your performance. Like,
Classic moment, dude. That
Yeah.
created a like meme for days.
oh yeah, dude.
that was
Yeah.
like probably one of the first memes out there.
They don't
right?
even really let people just run in the octagon anymore and challenge people, man. Remember those days?
You know who stopped that, right?
Dana? I don't know.
Nah, I guess maybe it didn't stop it. It slowed it down. They started letting the Diaz brothers do shit like that, and it broke out into a big old fight on Fox.
I fucked it up for everybody.
Yeah, dude. Elite XC, or maybe it was Strike Force. Jake Shields just fought Mayhem Miller or something like that.
I think I remember that.
Mayhem,
that was bad.
Or maybe it was Nick.
Didn't they jump Mayhem after that?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And it happened twice. It happened with it happened live on Fox with KJ Noons too.
I remember KJ Noons.
KJ Noons beat Nick Diaz on cuts. And then this was like Nick started going on a crazy ass run after that and just whooping everyone's ass to get back to KJ Noons because KJ took Nick's belt.
Oh, shit.
And this is Elite XC days. And it was in Hawaii. KJ Noons just fought. Nick Diaz had fought that night and won. And so KJ was the main event. After they're interviewing KJ, they invite the Diaz brothers in, and they do that, and Goldberg is in the middle of them.
Oh my God.
And he says, "Oh, you want to say something, Nick?" And you know, that's when they put the mic to Nick's face, and he's like, "Yeah, don't be scared, homie. Don't be scared." And then it just erupted into a brawl. Like, I remember you go back and watch it on YouTube or UFC Fight Pass, and you could hear the commentators like embarrassed of it. This is an embarrassment to the sport. Like, I mean, it was
that was just the first of many.
Oh, dude, it happened so many times with the Diaz.
But then
brothers.
Conor McGregor starts throwing water bottles, and they're like, "Oh, this is good for the pay-per-view ratings."
Nate was a part of that too.
Yeah, no, I know, but like, it's just funny how
they both got in trouble because they like hit people with the monster cans.
Didn't Conor throw a chair at a bus?
Yeah, a dolly.
Oh yeah, dolly, psycho.
Yeah, he got some charges over that one.
You know why he's not coming back to the UFC?
Why?
Because he can't test clean. He can't stop steroids.
So I heard recently.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know how accurate this is, but I heard recently them talking about it on Rogan's podcast, and they said Conor was tested like 15 times last year, 20 times last year.
Why?
He was in the testing pool.
He's gonna do a bare knuckle boxing match before he does that. I don't even think he's gonna do that.
Why would he do that?
I don't think he's gonna do any of that. I think he's just hyping it up. He's a
That's for the
millionaire.
guys. Like, bare knuckle boxing is for the truly fucking killer badass motherfuckers.
Hey,
or
what's his name is Savage. Mike
Perry.
Yes.
He was, and then we.
But then who just whooped his ass? Didn't
he
somebody
boxed one of the Paul brothers and got just beat to shit?
No, I thought he got beat in the bare knuckle too, or no?
Oh, dude, he got whooped up. I think he fought Jake Paul and got whooped up, dude.
I don't
like
want to talk
knocked
about
out,
the Paul brothers.
knocked out, whooped up.
I
And
don't
Conor
watch that
fired
stuff.
him from the bare knuckle stuff.
What? Because of that?
Yeah, dude. Like,
How embarrassing.
Yeah, it was very embarrassing for the sport.
I can't believe that's still around and nobody cares. Like nobody's tried to stop it because they get busted up, bro.
Yeah, dude. My take on the bare knuckle is it's for the fighters that are either truly badass or the ones that like need some money.
Or I'm gonna be honest, there's some out there that are just psychopaths.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say any names, but I know a gentleman who was thinking about it recently, and I was like, bro, no.
Yeah,
but he was gonna.
I know a mutual friend of ours who's considering one, and I'm just like blown away sometimes at I'm just blown away sometimes at how truly like barbaric it can be.
Yeah.
But like also there's a lot of guys out there that do it for a paycheck, take a fight or two that just,
what
they
are
go
a few
down
stitches?
quick. Yeah.
Bro.
So
I would never do it.
Yeah, bare knuckle fighting is a whole different world, man. I hate that they allow women to do it too. That for me is just like too barbaric. I don't want to see like there was a chick recently in one of those bare knuckle fights who got cut to shit so bad.
Yeah. On her eyebrow.
Yeah, dude, her whole face was split open, dude. Like her whole face, her face was destroyed. It was barbaric, dude. Very barbaric.
Yeah, man. I wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Not unless I had to, right? Obviously, in the streets, a different thing. You got to do what you got to do. But to just go in there willingly and be like, all right, I'm ready to get my forehead split open. No thanks, dude. I like it unsplit.
They don't even pay that much, I don't think. They're not making
I doubt it, dude.
amounts, right?
No,
millions?
Bro. I mean, unless I don't know. I have no idea what their pay-per-view buys are like. Do you?
No, but I feel like the UFC has like the best pay-per-view buys. And if they're not paying that kind of money, then these bare knuckle organizations can't be.
Yeah, I don't know how they're still around, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you like watching the slap fighting?
I don't watch it at all.
No, you don't watch Power Slap?
No.
No. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, I've seen like clips of it.
Clips of it?
It's crazy. Don't get me wrong. People's faces getting reorganized and stuff, but no, it's just not my fancy.
Okay, would you ever do a Power Slap?
No.
No?
No. I'm not going to stand there and let somebody freaking slap me.
If you were forced into a Power Slap match, who would you want your opponent to be?
You, Dave.
Give me the old 209.
The Stockton slap.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I wouldn't do it. I would just say, let's grapple.
You got to have some guts.
Yeah, that's true too.
That.
Yeah.
Like, just to stand there, not
You know how
move.
bad that would hurt just to take a slap like that and then have to do it over and over until somebody gets knocked out?
People get really knocked out from it.
Oh, dude, yeah. Falling straight backwards and stuff on their ass. No thanks.
Yeah. It's wild to think about, man. Did you happen to catch the match between Nicky Rod and Kynan Darte?
I did.
What was your take on that?
It was crazy to me because it seemed like Kynan kind of had that first, I guess, round. I don't know what you call it when they just give you a judge's preference or whatever they call it. But once Nicky Rod got on him, it was just like, no, he was stuck, dude. Like, his top game is crazy good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he can keep you there for sure.
Oh, yeah. He's tough to get off of you. If he gets in that position,
and he doesn't wear a shirt. So pushing off of him probably doesn't do shit.
No.
Probably slips and slides right off. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He does that on purpose, 100%.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean,
there's
kudos
rumors
to him.
that he greases, right?
I have no idea. I didn't start that rumor. You did.
No, I think the King did. King Ryan.
Oh, of course. Those guys just chatterbox back and forth.
I think he said he accused them of greasing in their UFC Fight Pass match.
Oh.
So I don't know, man. What's your take on greasing, man? Is there a rule against it in UFC or jiu-jitsu matches?
I mean, if there's not, there should be. That's stupid. I mean, it's greasy. It's slippery enough with sweat. You know what I mean?
I've competed a lot, but I've never heard anybody specifically.
Did you
say
see
that
the
rule.
video of the guy who had hair gel in and got DQ'd in IBJJF because of it?
No.
Yeah, I saw this little video clip. This guy on top complained about the stuff in his hair, and the ref stopped the match and DQ'd him, bro.
You can't wear hair gel.
I guess not. I don't know the rules, but it sounds like you can't. They considered it some sort of lubricant or something. So
I wonder where that comes in.
Yeah, it was crazy. I saw that and I was like, yeah, I mean, like, I'd be pissed if they had hair gel, but I don't think it's gonna stop me from anything.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy though. I'm gonna look that up right now. I'm curious what their take is on
IBJJF rules on
on hair.
I type in IBJJF lubricant rule.
On hair.
Is it like
they
hair?
gotta have some defining rules. So IBJJF rule, and this is from AI Overview on Google, says require athletes with long hair to secure it to prevent it from causing discomfort or injury to opponents. This can be done by tying hair up or using...
What about hair substance?
Non-metal elastic bands. Additionally, women are permitted to wear head covers. They must be black or white or black
color?
and white. And the color of their rank made with elastic fabric with no hard material strings. There's securing head covers for women. Man, this is like
that's pretty freaking detailed, bro.
I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking, but okay. Here we go. Athletes are not allowed to use temporary hair dye. It can stain opponents' uniforms. Hair accessories. They're not yet allowed to use hairpins, hair clips, or other hard hair accessories are not permitted. That's really like
nothing about hair gel or
I don't see
hairspray.
Anything in here in the overview. It's more considered about covers for women if they wear something over their head, long hair,
I wonder if it's in like the like pre-match check, like you know how they check your nails and stuff. I wonder
You would
if
think they would catch you though, right?
I guess. I mean, they go through hundreds of competitors.
I
bro.
competed in IBJJF one time, and a guy got through, and he had a rash guard on underneath. And you don't wear one in IBJJF, I believe.
That
right?
must be where I got it from, because I never started wearing a rash guard until like a year or two ago.
Yeah, it's an old school thing, you know.
Yeah, I wear one, and just as like a courtesy, because I got a gross hairy chest. But yeah, I used to not wear one, and it was so much nicer not wearing one.
Oh yeah, dude.
I haven't done that in a long time.
I usually don't wear one, but I started wearing them recently. I usually wear them in the winter.
We have a really like big women's group in our academy too, so it's like I feel like I need to wear one. Like that's just appropriate,
respectful. Yeah, you don't want some chest hairs going in people's face.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's nice of you, Chris. That's very nice.
I don't need my partners down there flossing with my chest hairs, you know.
Yeah, that's very kind though, and considerate of you to think.
I try to be. I try.
Did you happen to catch Helena's match?
Against
that young lady just had a baby like less than a year ago, dude, or maybe about a year ago.
She just won.
She's a savage.
The Brasilio tournament.
Yeah, she wins everything.
Like the fifth American to do that in the adult league bracket, I think.
But Helena at 17 years old is just wrecking house, going through almost everybody. The only one she's struggling with is world champion Galval's daughter. That's where she's getting stopped.
Whose daughter? Andre Galval?
Yeah.
Huh.
Sarah Galval.
I think somebody else just recently stopped her.
Sarah Galval beat her. Yeah, Sarah Galval beat her in the finals of, I want to say it was European Worlds, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, you watched the match, man, and like, she knew they almost like knew they were gonna meet in the finals, you know?
Yeah.
And like Sarah Galval, man, that girl's just like her dad, like in his old school prime. Like she just has a different level she can turn on.
Yeah, Andre Galval was a monster.
Yeah, like 100%. and they can just like crank it, you know, when they want, and that's exactly what she did. And when she wanted to take over the match, she did, and she.
They have quickly. A lot of really good people in their academy. Was it? He's at the headquarters, San Diego, right?
Oh yeah, dude. World champions galore.
All over that academy.
Some that just stop by there for a few months. You know, like there's a lot of people that just spend a few camps with them. So
that's on my list. Me and Sam, we want to travel, go down to like SoCal or something, and just hit a few academies and just stay down there for like a week and just hit the beach and the academies every day and just train.
What would the top 3 academies in order be?
Depends on where I'm at. Am I in San Diego or am I in LA area?
Okay, so that's not an issue.
I don't want to drive 2 hours to San Diego from LA.
I mean, you not on the same trip. I'm just saying, what are the top ones if you're in the area that you have to stop by?
So I have a friend down at Surf Fight Academy. Trains down there with Jeff Glover and them, and I told him I'd swing by if I ever went down there, so I would.
Shout out to Jeff Glover. He just received his 5th degree on his black belt recently. From Paragon Jiu-Jitsu. So, fucking huge.
Yeah, no shit. So that'd be one. I think another one would have to be while I'm in San Diego. I got to go to Atos headquarters. You know what I mean? And then I don't know, man.
If you had a choice between AOJ or Atos, which would you hit?
Probably Atos.
Yeah,
I think. I don't know why. I don't have a really big reason why, but yeah.
You probably don't have a white gi to wear in AOJ.
That's true. Not a clean one.
Not one like they keep.
I gotta get rid of my white gi, dude. My white gi is rank.
Do you know how
it's like cream color now, bro? It's gross.
Do you know how they like set the standard on that?
On what?
On how to like clean your gis to keep them all like pearly white, like they.
Well, if it's in SoCal, I'm assuming it's just rich people and they just buy new gis every month. I don't know. That's the only way I could keep them that white. Have you ever seen a video of anybody from AOJ that's got a dirty or dingy gi?
No,
I haven't.
No,
they're always pearly white, like they just came out of the box.
Like maybe do they sell a solution that like does the trick?
If they do, it's in between them. They're not sharing it with us.
Yeah,
that's how they tell who's who. You know,
I guess
AOJ is the clean gi.
Yeah, I guess you're right, dude. That's interesting to think about. I'm curious.
No, I don't know, man. But they do look like they're worn gis, but they're
Yeah.
just clean as hell. I'm like, do you guys just take them off after drilling and then get another gi for rolls or what? I don't understand.
Yeah. No, it's wild. Like, but it's pretty when you walk in there and you see all those white gis across the mat. It's pretty, like shining, you
On
know,
white mats too,
clean
right?
white mats.
That would drive me nuts.
Yeah, dude.
That would drive me
it's so bright
absolutely
in there.
nuts, dude.
It's so bright in there.
I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it?
No, I definitely won't be visiting AOJ.
Wow.
That's too bright. I'm gonna go blind, bro.
I wonder if they have. Okay, to keep your gi. Have you heard of people putting their gis in boric acid?
No.
That's something I saw. I saw a video a while back. Maybe I'll tag the link if I can find it again. But I guess from the chemicals of washing them all the time, like the soaps and the fabric softeners or whatever you use in your gis.
Yeah. Laundry
The
detergent.
dinginess from sweat and skin cells and all that fun stuff that gets like caked in your gi. You can put it in the bathtub with like boric acid overnight and some water, some hot water
Really?
and some shit like that. And it'll like pull all that shit out of your clothes.
That's crazy.
But I'm too
But
scared
it sounds
to do
like,
it.
yeah.
You know,
I don't like to mess with things that like
I'm the same way.
boric acid. Sounds
Yeah.
like I'm not qualified for.
It sounds like I'm gonna wake up and have a bathtub full of nothing. It's
I'm
gonna eat
sure
my
it's probably
gis up.
something simple, and the old timers are like, "You youngins don't know about boric acid," but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I don't, and it sounds like I'm not qualified.
Yeah, dude. I'm definitely not qualified for that kind of talk, but yeah, I'm scared to do it. Like I said, I haven't tried it yet, but I seen a pretty detailed video. Like he had it broken down to measurements and everything.
Damn.
And I was like, man, if that'll get my gis a little bit wider, a little bit cleaner, I'd like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I like that gi too. I've had it for a while. It's just a cheap Sanibel gi, but
yeah.
I like Sanibel, dude.
Chris, what's next for you in your competition scene? I know you're taking some time off from the last time we talked after that World League. You said you wanted to assess a little bit. You wanted to work
Yeah.
out some different things in your game. When do you foresee you stepping back into the competition scene, if at all, right now?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take some time to fix a lot of problems in my game, as many as I can. Let's say there are always going to be problems, but I'm thinking because as you know, you got me into it. I do HVAC, and so summertime's like, man, like I'm gonna be lucky to train 2-3 days a week right now.
Right.
So I think I'm gonna shoot for like December, maybe January, maybe November, but I doubt it. So.
You got your eyes on any competitions in particular, or
Nothing in particular. I was going to try to do like an ADCC Open or something like that. I just got to see what's available and what's coming up. I haven't really looked, to be honest, but that's something I want to do because I do want to do that rule set more. And I do want to compete no-gi more. I think I'm more equipped for that, I should say, I guess. I mean, I love training in the gi, but yeah, this last competition just had me made me realize I need to sit back and reevaluate some things before I go out there again, you know?
Oh yeah, dude.
So
Sometimes that's needed though.
yeah, for
Sometimes
sure.
we need it in that journey along
I'm not
the way.
upset about it, you know, like it wasn't fun, but it happened and I'm trying to use it in a positive way, right? Like, you know, it wasn't all bad. I went 1-2. I had to win at least at brown belt, but
And a win that you got back after a big time competitor out there.
yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't realize the history there. You went up against Mike twice before at previous belts, different rule sets, different organizations. And now you guys are meeting at a high level brown belt time, and you got a win in there. So that's huge for you, man. You definitely adapted and made the correct adjustments. So shout out, that's a huge adjustment, man.
Yeah, no, shout out to Mike Gianelli, man. He's a good dude. We've chatted here and there at the tournaments and stuff, and you know, we're gonna see each other again.
Yeah,
probably a few more times, you know. And he's always a game competitor, dude. He's tough. I mean, obviously he beat me twice, so
yeah. You're outside of your weight class though, right? With that, or
No.
is that normally where you compete?
Yeah, we're both right around there. we both go up and down. You know, it just depends on, I guess, for him, I don't know. But for me, it just depends on how much I want to cut, I guess. You know what I mean? But that's the thing, too. It depends on if I'm going gi or no gi, right? If I'm going in the gi, I got to do the 182 weight class. I just can't get down there. But if it's no gi, then I can make the 168 with the 0.9 of a pound allowance they give you at World League. So, but that's also why, like I said, I want to try these other rule sets. I want to get into ADCC or something else and give those other rule sets a shot and see what the different weight classes are in those, and just kind of get out there while I still can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not getting any younger, man.
Right.
So,
We're not going to be able to do these crazy level competitions forever.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be a point to where it's like, all right, I get it. So, you know, but that's good that you're getting out there, man, and still got your eyes set towards a goal. And, you know, to have something to train towards is important, and to set those goals for yourself. Like that's what's going to keep you progressing through the sport and keep you progressing through the art.
Yeah, and I'd probably like to do like another Arte Suave or something like that too, if I can, down the road. But like I said, I want to fix a few things and really come out ready and strong. You know what I mean? I feel like in the past I've kind of been more timid, I guess is the word, when I compete. You know what I mean? For some reason or another, I get doubtful in my game, and I don't do things that I do in the academy, right? Like in the academy, I'm loose. It's home. You know what I mean?
I'm comfortable.
Yeah, exactly, dude. So I need to work on that transition, getting that same comfortability out there, and it's only going to come by doing it more. So that's kind of where I'm gearing up right now.
Yeah, man. And, you know, that's something I know about you is you always like to go out, like to compete, and then make the proper adjustments before you get back out there.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
You know, you never go back to back making the same stupid mistakes. And, or if you do, it's pretty rare, right?
Yeah.
But you always want to make those proper adjustments, get over, you know, certain things that you were dealing with the last time. And dude, like I've literally seen you make huge jumps in your jiu-jitsu level because of that, right?
Yeah.
Because you're willing to make those adjustments and willing to try things out. And all right, well, last time I went out there, this wasn't working. So now I'm going to change this and work on this in my game. And you really have grown a lot from that. So I've definitely seen it. Chris, it's been awesome having you on the show so far. I do want to just end it on a couple different notes. First of all, we're excited that you joined us on this one, Chris. It's been a while. A lot of fans have been asking. A lot of guests have been asking about you. The people have missed you. But it's a pleasure having you on the show, and you know, getting to talk to you about like all the different things coming up, man. It's just fun.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me back on, man. And I'll come back again one of these days. You know, it's just, you know how it is. It's rough right now in the HVAC world, man. It's getting warm. It's getting cold. We don't know what the weather's going to do. So it's like I got to be on my toes this summer.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, you know, what we're into, like, I mean, we gotta take our time when it's there, you know. And somebody told me one time, feast or famine. I'm like, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, thank you for being on. Just a few different things, man. If people want to train with you, man, how do they get to train with Brown Belt Chris?
Oh man, I'm nothing special, but if you do want to come train, we're at Strive Academy. I'm not sure what the address is now. We moved locations, got a bigger spot. I think it's something Clough Road in Lodi. Just look up Strive Jiu-Jitsu Academy. Come on in. We got kids classes, tiny grappler classes. All kinds of opportunities. Excellent women's self-defense program. So come give us a look and get in some training.
Yeah, man. Strive Jiu-Jitsu, you guys just had a new academy open up. It's on 39 North Clough Avenue.
There it is.
Suite C.
There it is.
In Lodi, California. So if you're in the Lodi industrial area, go check them out. Strive's an awesome place. There's a lot of good training partners in there. I know quite a few classes. Of them. Yeah.
Pedro does morning classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 a.m. and 11 a.m. Black belt Pedro.
6 a.m. and 11 a.m. Dude, it's crazy because I know a lot of guys in this jiu-jitsu scene. I go back with Pedro from blue belt days, and Isaac has been with me from the start.
Yeah.
Guys like Grandpa Dan, dude.
Yeah,
like,
dude. It's crazy.
It's really wild. But you guys got a great crew over there, and But go check out Strive. Go check out Chris online. You can follow him on Instagram. But yeah, Chris, you got any shout outs for the fans? Anything you want to say? Any messages?
I just want to say thanks again for having me on, guys. I missed y'all. I'll be back one day. We'll do this again. In the meantime, I'll see you guys. I'll catch you guys around the jiu-jitsu tournament scene.
Yeah, buddy. But this has been another awesome episode of Grapplers Talk. You could check us out on Facebook, Instagram. Follow us on those social media platforms. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is growing, and we're always excited to bring you some more content. I got some exciting things planned for the video aspect of the podcast, and I'm excited to unveil those to the fans a little bit later this year. But we're excited to be on each and every week. You can download us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere where you download your podcast. We're even on Amazon Alexa. And you could go on Amazon Prime and download Grapplers Talk. So check it out. Thank you to all the fans. This has been another great episode of Grapplers Talk. This is Dave.
I'm Chris.
And we are out.
This is Grapplers Talk.